La da 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 dee, you're not breaking me. La dee da da da, da 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 da. Yeah. Somebody told me fame is a disease. You start seeing the blues when you start seeing the green. But I think it's all about what you choose. The way you live your life depends on you. That's when I realized I wanna make a difference, change other people's lives, give hope even for a moment. Use my name for good and change the game I could. Because to make it, you think I gotta act a certain way, be a little bit insane.
So you've been working in the music industry since you were a kid, basically.
Yeah.
When did the dream of being a music artist start for you?
Pretty young. I mean, my parents say I've been singing since before I could talk, I guess. I was, singing melodies and just kind of humming things and creating sounds. So, I mean, for me, it was always a part of my life. And I think when I was around 6 years old, it was like kindergarten, when the teacher asked, what do you want to be when you grow up, I always just said a singer, no matter what. So there wasn't really ever a plan B. I knew since I was a kid that I wanted to do music somehow.
And I'll be asking you some of our Twitter questions. So we asked our fans and followers for questions for you. And so the first question I have for you, pardon me, is from @Zach Thomas. So @Zach Thomas wants to know, what's kept you going? What's the main reason you haven't given up on your music career?
The fans, for sure. I got like so quiet after. I mean, honestly, like when I put videos up on YouTube, a while back, I remember just seeing comments and like there's so much love. I feel like that like people just get behind your music and you, and they want to see it happen for you. And for me, it feels like it's not just me doing it. It's like all of us are kind of on this journey together, and it's not like it's just me by myself. That would be really lonely. But I don't know. I love what we've built up. We have like this cool relationship and this cool connection where I can post anything, and it's just like I get instant feedback, and it's like we can just talk like humans. So it's cool. I love it.
So Flair is fashion mixing. So let's talk about style.
Okay.
What do you like to wear? How would you describe your style? Look pretty fly right now. So.
Thanks. I'm very simple. I like very understated types of things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, jeans and a t-shirt with jewelry. Like I try to stay away from heels as much as I can. I like to be comfortable.
So when you're performing, do you switch it up and make it a little extra?
Yeah, for sure. On stage, I think there's kind of a button that gets pressed. Where it's like, okay, you're going to be on stage now, so maybe like, bump it up a little bit and not go out there in your pajamas, which is maybe I'll do that one day because I have goals. But yeah, I definitely I'll rock heels, or I still have to be comfortable though. I hate being uncomfortable in my clothes. That's like the worst.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I'm still like experimenting with things on stage. It's fun to switch it up.
Cool. As one curly-haired girl to another.
Great hair.
Thanks. Of course, I need to know what's in your hair.
Secrets.
Me too.
Yeah, that's where we have it. Secrets. Yeah, exactly. She said that's why it's so big. I put a lot of random products in. One of my favorites is called Weedad.
Weedad.
Yeah, I bet you know all this already. Weedad is good, and Oribe is good as well. And I think the trick though is like when it's wet, I don't towel dry. I do like a t-shirt. You know the t-shirt
Yeah,
trick?
it has like a name, doesn't it? I can't remember. It has a weird little
I call it the
trick.
t-shirt trick.
Yeah.
And all this is on my Pinterest too, by the way.
Check the hair board for sure.
But I diffuse it. I flip it over and diffuse it, and that's kind of how it gets big, I guess.
Have you ever felt pressure to have straight hair?
Oh yes, absolutely. I didn't start wearing my hair curly until about 6th grade, because before that I actually had straight hair. If you see like pictures of me in kindergarten, it was really straight, and it started to get this weird like half wave thing going on. And so I just slicked it back, or I straightened it every day, because that's what all the other girls were doing. So I was like, I'm not gonna wear my hair curly, you know. I was really nervous. So 6th grade picture day, I woke up late and didn't have time to do my usual hair routine. And so my mom, who has curly hair as well, she was like, oh, okay, we'll just put all this in it, we'll diffuse it. Like, she kind of helped me, and I got all these compliments when I went to school. And it was just cool to see that I could just rock like what God naturally gave me, instead of like forcing something else. And like I got a lot more confidence after that. So since then, I've just rocked it curly.
Here's a good one. This is from Love Michaela, and she says, what's the most emotional... Are you here? Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So your question, as you know, was what's the most emotional song to perform for you?
Most emotional song? That's tough. I feel like I'm very emo, and I feel like I'm emotional, like all of them. I guess, I mean, because there's happier songs in the album too. I think Funny gets me pretty emotional.
True.
What's the song that gets you most emotional?
City Dog.
City Dog gets me emotional, actually. Yeah. It changes. I think at shows it just kind of depends on the moment.
Cool.
Yeah.
So one of the lyrics that I think really stands out from Unbreakable Smile is maybe I can sell out shows without taking off my clothes. Why is that a great message for all your young fans here?
Yes. Oh man, that lyric stems from another interesting story. When I was about 13, maybe 12 or 13, and some people know, but I was signed when I was 12, and kind of just thrown into the whole business side of things, not knowing what was going on. I didn't even know who I was yet as a person, let alone like an artist. So I was just working with every single person you could think of, just kind of going through the motions, letting them tell me what to sound like, and because I didn't know how it went down. And I remember walking into a meeting, and with some people who were pretty high up at the record label and stuff, and they're playing like these music videos of other artists who are kind of like more revealing with their clothing choices. And I remember being so confused. Like I'm only 13. I'm walking into this kind of like, well, like why are you playing these videos? Like, do you want me to look like that, or am I supposed to? Is this what you're supposed to do to make it? Like, are you trying to tell me something? All these thoughts were going through my head, and I remember that was the moment when I remember thinking like this, me and my family too. I'm so thankful they had my back through all of it, but it was just one of those moments where, okay, this doesn't feel right. Like, we need to take a step back and really see what's going on here and not just rush into things, because it just didn't feel right. So I think with that, where that line comes from is kind of looking back on that moment and realizing how far I've made it without compromising myself or my beliefs or what I wear. Like I could still do sold out shows without changing anything about myself. So I think that's where that line comes from.